Welcome to another episode here at RewardLion. Today we have a special guest with us, JD, one of our customers. He's in the peptide industry, and today we're going to talk about the challenges in the industry that he works in. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thanks for coming down.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So let's talk about Biogenix.
Yep. So we started Biogenix Peptides just last year. We saw a need in the market for more transparency. There's a lot of distrust in what people were buying, and we thought that we could fill a need by creating a very transparent company, really doing a lot. I mean, everything we do is third-party tested, and also creating a better customer service kind of atmosphere where, you know, problems with shipping, questions about products, anything was answered immediately, you know, as quick as we can get to them, as quick as they're asked and we can get to them, we answer them. And I think that's, we really kind of saw pretty quickly the response in our customer service was so great. We were getting so many compliments that we realized very quickly that other companies just weren't holding it up. And so that we really kind of added a lot of focus to that along with our great products. And I think that's really accelerated our growth, along with, of course, you know, working with RewardLion has done great for accelerating our growth too. You guys have been amazing. But, you know, and that's why we worked with you too. We had great communication with you.
But since day one, I noticed like you are an active business owner. You know what you want.
Yeah.
You plan and you implement. When we start working with you, we weren't working with someone that's like, hey, I don't have anything. I don't know what to do. You need like, hey, I'm building this. I need help with this.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around. Can you help me? And then we started working with you. You worked on the website first, and you perfected the website. The website is amazing, and it's one of the reasons the conversion rate is so high, because you worked on every angle as a customer to make sure they have everything they need.
That's what we wanted. We wanted to make the user experience as good as we can, and we're still working on that every day.
Yeah.
Every time we see a little trip up, some sort of thing where, you know, well, at first customers were asking, can you provide tracking? And we were sending it out, but it was so hidden in the response email that we said, okay, we have to fix this. We have to make a bigger button, a button they can hit that can take. But it's all those little things, you know. You don't. Individually, they're not a huge problem, but when you add up all these little things, then you can say, well, we're not giving the experience that customer needs. So, and every day I think of it, you know, we get a customer who calls me with another question. I go, well, that's something we can make better on the website. Yep. So I go and I dive in and we try to improve it. And I don't think we'll ever stop improving.
And advertising, it is a nightmare. Right?
Advertising is very difficult in this industry. You know, we're in a very funny industry because we're
how many times do we get shut down?
Well, you know, we get shut down a lot, and and it's always right when momentum starts. You know, and you guys, I don't know what I'd do without you. I mean, you guys have really, you know, you've done a lot to help me with what we call the compliance issues and stuff like that.
It took time though to earn your trust. You know,
I had it. You know, I was reluctant to take advice at first, but inevitably we had to say, these guys know what they're doing. We're going to have to follow their advice.
What made you switch?
You know, when you see these ad campaigns, and yes, if we advertised the way that I wanted to, we saw these instant results, but all of a sudden sales would spike high, and it was always the day we saw the best sales. I go, that was an amazing day, and sure enough, the next day the ads would get shut down. I go, they happen again. You know, so we said, well, what's better? 3 weeks of accelerated growth only to crash for 3 weeks, or do we take slower growth, more reliable advertising, something that's not going to fail, and grow slowly, which is better for us anyway. Growing, you don't want these huge spikes because it throws your business off balance too.
And you know, Dr. Carollos, he's really one of the best people in the industry.
Well, he
knows it all.
He knows his stuff.
And even the page from social branding was shut down.
Yeah.
And he, like, when I talked to him, he's like, I knew it was going to happen.
Not only that, you know, he takes our meetings in the middle of the night. You know, he's taking some very late meetings. And to be clear, he was in Egypt, so it was even later for him. It wasn't like he was on the West Coast.
Yep.
You know, it was at 8 o'clock at night our time, and he's like, well, you got shut down again. We have to fix this now. So we're on a Teams meeting with him at 9 o'clock or whatever it was, 9:30 at night, getting a new ad account set up, getting everything ready.
That's dedication.
And it was incredible dedication. It was very much appreciated by us because people don't understand, we're running a 24/7 business. It's an online store. It never closes. It's not like, when things need to be fixed, they need to be fixed immediately. We can't have, and the advertising, when we're this new in the business is very important. We don't have another. There's very few channels to really get the name out.
That's true.
And you guys have done great with the SEO. So that's
the SEO, programmatic ads, all these things.
Yep.
That's why when the last time you were shut down, sales didn't tank.
It did not tank. It
went down,
but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't catastrophic like it was the first time because you had
and
done
now it's getting better and better and better.
Well, yeah, you're adding all these kind of backdoor channels to kind of protect us. So now we're not so dependent on one thing. We've got the SEO, we've got the programmatic. Yeah, all the different things.
The geofence targeting, by the way, and the SEO and the blogs and all these things combined.
Yeah.
When you do it, what happens is people think Meta is a channel. That's it. But no, it's a channel, one of 100 channels.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most unreliable channels because they change policies on a daily basis.
Well, I don't want to get into too much about, talking about.
Mark Zuckerberg, you need to stop.
Well,
shit.
I think they succumb to pressure too. I mean, we're a threat to big pharma because we don't fit their plan. Because big pharma does not want to fix people. They want to get you on a lifetime subscription. They want to give you something that makes you feel better but doesn't actually make you better. And then that gives you a side effect that they can give you something else to make that feel better. And they keep going and going and going. Yeah. So when they see things getting treated upstream, we call it, where they're treating downstream, we're treating upstream. We're treating in a way that is actually going to the root of the issue. It's very bad for big pharma. So big pharma puts great pressure on Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and these advertisements. Because they have enough money and power to put that kind of pressure.
But it's even more than that. So what's happening lately is their system became such a monster they can't control it anymore.
Yeah, it's
and their AI and it got like how many times did you see your ads go down and we reactivated it because we didn't break policy?
No.
We didn't break policy.
We haven't broken any policy. Their algorithm thinks we're breaking policy, but we're well compliant. We're well within all the compliance. It's just a difficult way to advertise with them. It's a very,
But we have backup plans. We have all kind of risk management and all that stuff. Yeah. The thing with the industry itself, and it's not just that industry. Like you can run ads for plumbers and get shut down.
Yeah.
It's just the system. It's becoming such a burden.
Yeah.
And that's why when people start working on SEO and geofence targeting and these other channels, Google PMax, what happens is you're spreading your revenue through all these channels.
More reliable
channels. And what happens too is if one channel is stopped, 20% of the business goes down.
Yeah.
Versus if one channel is all you advertise and it stops.
Well, it's diversification. Just the same way you want your portfolio in the market, you want your advertising diversified.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's what you can't. If you, it's just like a business who solely relies on one client. If that client pulls out, your business is done. It's the same with anything. It's the same in the market, and it's the same in advertising. That diversification, and it gives you a more. It's not just that it's healthier for the peaks and valleys. It gives you a more robust clientele because you're getting clients from different areas, and it's a more. You just don't want the diversified advertising. You want the diversified clientele.
Yes.
And it's just a healthier business model.
SEO, one of the good things about it is like the more you push it, and people don't understand SEO is like paid ads. It's a budget thing. Yeah. You have to buy.
Yeah.
It's like, what is really PPC? It is buying space, and it's per clicks, and that's how they charge you. How does SEO work? You're buying places in other websites. Yeah. You're buying backlinks. You're buying technical assets. And what happens is because you start buying these things, Google and the search engine, they start like, oh, there's so many people talking about this business. So it starts ranking.
Yeah. And they're seeing the same thing. Now your website has diversification. Things are coming in through all these channels. So I think it senses that and picks it up too. So, and you talk about the money and you're buying these things, but I think it's important to know too, it depends on who you're doing it. Like we do this with you because we're not trying to outbuy our competitor. We're trying to outsmart our competitor. So we buy time with you and allow you to outsmart them,
Yes.
which is just a better investment. If we just sit and throw money wildly at stuff, we don't know. There's no analytics. There's no anything. We can't.
And you good man, because when you started, all you needed is the wrong company in the beginning. It would have changed everything.
Absolutely.
And that's what people don't understand. There's challenges. That doesn't mean we can't fix the challenges. We can fix the challenges, but every challenge has to be addressed. What we give you is transparency. We tell you what the problem is, and this helps you make decisions.
Absolutely.
And I have people that they're selling other things, and they come to us, and it's like, oh, they've been running ads for so many, and nothing. And the problem is because most companies out there, they either marketing companies or software companies or data companies. Versus us, we more in a business solution company where I have my hands in all areas.
Yeah. Well, go to your website. Look at how many different, from the OS to that.
It is massive.
It's almost intimidating at first. I had to learn how to use your website just to get to my analytics. Now I go around that thing like it's secondhand, but it's robust. It's a very robust.
And the technology is important. And there's endless amount of technology. Of course, each technology has their own prices and resources. What we try to do is we get the best out of everything and we shove it in one place.
Yeah.
And then we work with strategy. So we know what works, what doesn't work. But we are as good as the leadership behind us, which is you are the leader of your business. You have the resources, you resist, sometimes it backfires. You don't resist.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if we go back to Dr. Carollos, you say the 8 p.m., that's probably 3 a.m. his time.
It was,
He could have been simple, we worked from 9 to 5.
Yeah. It was him that reached out to me, too. Yeah, I just sent him a message saying I expected a return the next day. Next thing you know, I get a phone call. Get on a Teams meeting right now. He sent me a link.
But you know
boom.
why? Because the respect that you gave him makes him you know what? I'm going to go an extra mile for this guy. It's because what people don't understand in business, the leadership that works with you, if you respect them and you show appreciation, they have your back. But it doesn't matter what you pay, because money doesn't mean nothing. If you pay $50,000 a month to a company, but you always irritate them or...
Absolutely.
So what happens is, in your case, even though, by the way, your program was the 297, which is the AI Ads Pro, but you got the Business Accelerator.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the respect that you give to everyone around you. They're like, you know what? Forget the money. We just want to make shit happen.
Well, we appreciated that. So, and I think, too, when you build a good culture within your business, it's important that extends outward to the people you do businesses with to do business with outside of that, too. People talk about, people who treat their employees good. Well, you have to treat... You're not my employee. We're working together in a team. Whatever culture I build within my business has to extend to the companies outside of my business that we work with too. And so, when you say there's a respect, it's because I treat you guys the same as I would want to be treated, and you guys treat me the same as you would want to be treated. I think there's always, right off the bat, we found that.
I'll tell you the first scenario I had with you, where we sat down with management and we were like, you know what, whatever Josh wants, just do it. And there was a green light for you.
Yeah.
We had a meeting with you, and what happened is your website was delayed.
Yeah, it was taking a little while longer. Yeah,
you were paying. You paid the setup. We did the setup. You paid the first month. By the second month, you made another payment for the 297, and your website was still not up.
We were still doing a lot of work in the background, though. Yeah.
But you never came, and you're like, nobody did anything. You were like, you know what, this is our fault. It took longer than we expected. Oh. I know you told me you were going to do the website, but I said I was going to do it. So the respect and the honesty that you delivered, that's what made us like, you know what? That's the type of person we want to work with.
Well, the thing was, too, during that whole time, we were still having bi-weekly meetings, and we were still perfecting a strategy. So it wasn't like nothing was getting done. We just hadn't implemented it yet.
Yes.
But I think, if anything, those delays may have given us more time to create a better strategy where we didn't just jump in blindly. I think we had more time to get to know each other. I think, we talk about things happen for a reason. Well, maybe that delay was not only to perfect the website, but to get this relationship established and to make sure everybody was on the same page. So I think it worked to everybody's benefit.
It worked amazing because some people don't understand. Like sometimes it takes time to do something really good. And in your case, yes, it took 2-3 months to really launch.
Yeah.
But the launch was successful.
Yes.
And during the hiccups that they got in the launch, now there's like backup plans. There's creativity. There's like other channels now.
Yeah.
And the way I see your business, and by the way, we manage a lot of companies in your industry.
Yeah.
But maybe only 10% are successful. 90% that are not successful, it's really because of their leadership.
Poor planning and poor leadership,
And being cheap. Shitty website.
Yeah.
You know, I have people that like, I don't sell peptides. I'm special. But they have like a cheap template, Shopify.
Fiverr, those Fiverr AI built like terrible websites, right?
No care about the customer journey, inflated prices.
Mm-hmm.
So
no transparency, inflated prices, no customer service, And
that's what's special about your business. And that's why I think you're really going to outgrow a lot of people in this business because you care about your customers.
We do.
Yep. And that's something that is very important. And there's a lot of resistance from the channels around you, like Meta and all these things.
Yeah.
But we are too smart for them. It doesn't matter what they do.
And it's kind of become a game of trying to outsmart them. It kind of gets a little fun. I'm not going to say it's not stressful when the ads go down.
Yeah.
But
it's up in 24, 48 hours.
Don't you feel like we're trying to win against them? This gigantic force, this megalomaniac.
And
business,
the thing is, all this happens without breaking a policy.
That's right.
Like imagine if we were breaking policy.
I know. It's amazing how compliant we can be and still get shut down. How tough it is to advertise with them. And it's amazing they've made as much money as it. Don't they want our money? Yeah.
The way they look at it, like I said, I think their system, their algorithm became such a beast they don't control anymore.
Well, it's like the Terminator. The AI is taken off on its own.
And it flags no matter what it is.
And there is no human.
Meta has no human support.
Humans. Nothing.
You'd be lucky.
There's no person to say, hey, can we review this? Can we find we've been compliant? There's nobody. It gets shut down and it's shut down. And that's
even your website, they shut it down. Remember that?
Yeah. That was GoDaddy.
Yeah.
GoDaddy and then they held it hostage, basically made me pay to get it back. And then when I moved it, wondered why are you leaving us? I go,
what?
I shouldn't have to
shut down my business.
You just shut down my business and extorted money out of me to give me back my own domain. And now you want to know why I'm leaving. It's very strange.
I left GoDaddy 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I maybe have 1 or 2 domains with them, but I don't really use them for hosting because again, no support.
Yeah. These companies get too big for their own good.
Yes.
And then what happens when they get big? Then they want to maximize profits, so they cut half their staff. Once they get to a certain size, somebody comes in, some efficiency guy, and tells them they can do it with half the people, and then that's it.
It's amazing. But one thing I noticed too, like, how does it feel for you as an owner in this field, and you have someone like Dr. Carollos or like the team, and when things like this happen, you reach out. Like, do you still feel alone?
I don't. No. You guys have I felt very, it took a couple meetings for everybody to feel each other out and get a good communication. But especially, once I really heard Carlos start talking, I mean, it's undeniable the amount of knowledge and expertise he has in this field. So really, you talk about, like, for me, customer service, holding the customer's hand through this process. That's what I got from you guys. I had my hand held, and I was made to feel very comfortable, and I was made to feel very confident. And that's why you came to me a few weeks ago and said, look, we want to start doing this, but, we're going to need funding, and it's a big move. And I said, send me over the stuff. Let me review it, and boom. I said, let's go, because I trust you.
And what I like about you is that you understand what it takes to do what, and the resources that you need to put in your business, and you don't shy from investing in your business.
Well, this is the time. We're scaling, and scaling takes money.
Yes.
It's not time yet to give myself anything. It's time to keep cycling it back up in the business.
And one of the things I noticed with a lot of business owners, like we help grow so many people, and some become giants and some break. And the only difference I see, the companies that break is usually the ones that hold back from reinvesting into the company. So, for instance, my company is growing. I'm doing an X amount. I need to do more. I need to do this and this. They're like, oh, no, I'm putting money in my pocket. Let me try to make more. Let me shrink. And I literally had customers that did that, and they shrinked what we were doing. Their business went down by 50%. Yep. They don't take advice. They resist. But then they're like, oh, shit, help, fix. And then we fix it, and it's just becoming a behavior. You can look at the data. Your business is growing. You reinvest in it, it's going to keep growing.
Well, and that's the key word. You're saying reinvest, and I think when you hear people who are scared to do this, they'll say, "Well, we don't have that much money to spend," and you have to say, "Well, you're not spending it; you're investing it." And there's a big difference between spending money is poof, it's out the door. Investing money is what you're doing in your business, and when people don't understand that, that's where they fail. That's where they stop growing because they don't understand that it takes that money to make money. I mean, it's the old saying, right?
Yes.
But when you're scaling, it's the most important time. This is your exponential drive upward, and that money you make, it needs to be reinvested. It needs to be back into whatever you have to do to make your infrastructure strong. But the advertising, and it's the time to do it.
One question, if you want to answer it, answer it. But what was the largest sale in one day you had?
Largest single sale or largest day?
Like day.
Of $14,000
in one day.
In one day.
And that's for a business that's...
And this was just about a month and a half in.
And a month and a half in.
Yeah.
And what do you think caused something like this? Is it that the industry needs that, or because there's a lot out there?
Well, I think our exposure was getting good and our reputation, and I think the name quickly spread. I mean, we got feedback almost right away. Our Trustpilot reviews went through the. I mean, we're a couple months in and we're already a 4.8 on Trustpilot, and that's only because they hold you back.
Yeah.
You can't get to a 4.9, which is about as high as you go. You can't get there because they start you at a 3. They just basically give you a bunch of bad reviews hidden to start you, and then you have to fight. But a lot of that, we had a good, and a lot of that was the customer experience. It was, we've created a good image. We've created a good brand and a good image that you guys have done a great job of putting out there for everybody to see. And the customer experience on the website's been very smooth, and the response to questions and the customer service.
The targeting, we're good at it. We know how to target.
Yeah.
But
it's presenting the brand well too.
Bert, a dear friend of mine, always says, "Trash in, trash out." Mm-hmm. So we direct good traffic, no matter what kind of industry. But if we send that traffic to trash, it's not going to convert.
Yep.
But one of the things that I love about what you did in your business, your focus on the customer experience from the minute they click to the checkout, is phenomenal.
Well, thank you, and I think we realized that very quickly, especially if you go on other companies' reviews, and you'll see, rarely are the complaints about products. Almost all the complaints are about the service. They didn't respond. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but the important thing is if something's wrong, if shipping went wrong, or somebody got something they didn't want, or anything, like there was a mistake in fulfillment, you have to respond.
Yes.
As long as you respond to these people and tell them, hey, we're going to make it right. We're going to make it. That's all it takes.
And when you build that relationship, now they're not price shopping anymore.
No.
Because they're like, okay, even if I get it from XYZ, if I don't receive my stuff, I can't even get a hold of nobody.
It's amazing. There's companies out there way more expensive than us and with horrible reviews. And, and again, most of the reviews didn't answer my question, didn't answer my call, didn't get my shipment, and nobody could tell me my tracking. Somebody was rude on the phone when these people just want a simple answer to a question, and somebody's rude to them. And it just amazes me. It's so easy to be nice.
But because you did all this, you cared, and the better way to say it, because you cared so much about your client's journey. Return on ad spend itself, in your case, when I measured it, I think it was almost, at a certain point, it was like 30x.
Yeah.
And your product is not even expensive.
No.
So if you really look at it.
And we've always running specials. We're always running some 15% off or 10 or 20% off sort of code. So
to have a product like this that you are actually killing the market and still the ROI on ad spend and the traffic and all that stuff, it's amazing. Yeah. But we go back to it. It is your dedication, the way you handle your team, the way you handle your partners, and the way you care about the journey of your customers. That's what really made the difference.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that being recognized. Thanks, Mike.
Now, before we leave, like one of the challenges I have personally in my business, because there's so much, our business is 90% scam, the industry.
Oh, the industry you're in, yes.
Not mine.
Yes.
But the industry is like 90% scam. Yeah. Like it's like you go in, everybody is
same with my industry. A lot of scam.
Everybody is a marketer. Everybody is a this. Everybody is that. Yeah. You have there's price shopping. There's all kind of things. And for me in my industry, like our retention for our clients, by the way, our cancellation rate year over year is at 5%,
which is great. Right.
And you're talking about managing over 400 companies. Yeah. It's really amazing. Yeah. It's the retention that matters. But for people to come to us, they have doubts. They've been burned. Even you, when you came, you're like, oh, this is my first company I'm looking for.
Oh, I was nervous.
But you were nervous, but the trust was there.
Well, it was trust because you also gave me an entry. You gave me
a good entry.
You gave me a good entry price. It said, let's work up to something. And that that said a lot. Like, I think over the years I can sniff out greed, and I'd sensed no greed, and that's a big thing. Like I sensed, I think you started me out at a very digestible rate that we were
I used to say it like, what's your risk?
But
no risk.
Well, I think I told my wife several times, they're charging me $300 a month, and I'm sitting in 2 meetings, 2 or 3 meetings a month with them alone, at least for an hour, with 4 people on their time. I go, if I add up the hourly rate that they must be getting paid, I'm not even sure it covers what they're paying, what they're charging me yet.
Yes.
So I think you were. I think you were investing in me, yourself. So
we invest in our partners. Yeah. That's why the 10% matters, because when you grow in the ad spend, we grow with you.
Right.
And then it opens other windows. It opens other things. Yeah. The reason we do that, because we want long-term relationship. We don't want to be another company. We want to be the last company you come to. Yeah. We want to build the relationship. I have clients that have one business. They came to me, and then they're like, wow, I open another business and another business and another business. Because they're with us, they're like, oh, no, I'm just opening businesses. They're just opening businesses, and they're handing it to us because they feel the power that from behind.
And the trust, the power, the trust, the communication. You form these relationships. And once you have it, you don't want to go anywhere else.
And behind the scenes, they know, like, okay, there's such a big operation there. They already have the data for all these industries.
Sure.
And they come to me first, of course. They're like, hey, Mike, I want to open this and this. What do you think? I'm like, you know what? I'm managing 20 of these companies. It's a good company.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, and two, it's nice. They can come to you for advice, because being that you're managing 4 companies, you see the inside and out of all these different industries, so it's a lot of data. Yeah. You become a guru, for them. So it's a good.
But before we wrap it up, if someone is looking for help, looking for a company that can help them support their growth, what would you tell them?
Oh, I'd tell them RewardLion has been
right
here. You want to say RewardLion has been fantastic, and like I said previously in this interview, they held my hand from the very beginning. They built trust. I believe they invested in me, and I believe I was probably costing them money for a couple months to get this done. So they've directed me, and to their credit, they have argued against some of my ideas. They have shut me like, Josh, that is not a good idea. And I appreciate that, because I don't want yes men just taking my money. I want somebody saying, look, if you want us to do this, it's going to cost you. This is not a good direction. So, to have somebody fight back and push back on this, that's what you want to see. And that's what we got. And I respected it, and I still respect it. I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for it.
Thank you, JD, for coming. This was a wonderful podcast.
Thank you, Mike. I'm glad. Thanks for bringing me down to the warm weather. Thank you.
Welcome to Florida.
We had 8 months of snow where I'm from, so it's nice to get some sunshine.
Get some beach, some pool time. And thank you guys for attending another episode of RewardLion. We'll see you on the next one.